My son asked me one time, he said, "Dad, are you famous?"
I used to just completely stay off Twitter. Do you stay off Twitter?
I don't. I read it. I don't care. I laugh at it.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Ridin Around Show. Today we have head coach Mike Neighbors.
Great to be here.
Today we're going to be talking to you about your 10 years head coaching experience, the current season before us, and some of your passions. Let's hop in.
Let's go right around.
Your horn goes beep, the music in the Jeep goes. We got the music, get you high again. We got the beat, make it act like a hooligan. We got the rhyme.
We're off.
Let's go.
We're off. We got a head hog in the car with us. I think you're our first head coach we've had on the show.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to be breaking barriers.
I appreciate it. Man, so I was at practice with y'all about an hour and a half ago. Let's start with the trending. What's the difference between last year's team and this year's?
Two things. One, last year we had a lot of good shooters. This year we got makers.
Makers.
You know, and there's a vital difference in those two things. So all of our shooting numbers are up, and I think everything's happening faster. We got a lot of kids coming back, so we've been able to get a lot in. But I think everything just seems to be happening a little faster, and right now the ball's going in a little more. So
Spencer keeps it. Long three.
Then Monroe.
Hey, there's Michaela Daniels.
Talia Scott's laughing as she dribbles up the floor.
I know you talked about in a press conference before that you can send a bunch of littles in there and then you can send a bunch of bigs in there, and teams don't know how to adjust.
Yeah, we'd come out of timeouts and we'd make a substitution and we'd sub one of the 5'8" kids in for a 6'3" kid, and then all of a sudden you see them, their coaches are kind of scrambling around like, who's going to guard this one? So
makes me think of a football team. When you guys send players in, they have to send a whole new lineup in.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have somebody over there on the side really paying attention, watching what we're doing during our timeout.
A whole coach just for roster management.
Got that.
We're in a boat right now.
There's a lot of room in this thing.
I have the third row down. There's a whole.
I know. We can play a pickup game back there.
Shout out to Lewis Ford putting us in this. I think it's the 100,000 little over vehicle.
I can see why. I'm afraid to touch anything. That's why I'm sitting with my hands in my lap. If everybody's wondering why I'm not touching anything.
If you
hear that?
Back to basics, you gotta look at yourself and make a change.
So I want to give the audience a quick bio. You actually graduated from the University of Arkansas.
I did. Yeah, 93 or 94, and there was some discrepancy on whether I had enough classes, whether it was 93 or 94. But I claim 94 because that's the national championship year.
You graduated when we won the national championship.
Easy, but I was in school here for 7 years. I think I hold the record for most undergraduate hours with only 1 degree. I think I've got like 240 hours or something from this place.
You switched majors?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Oh man!
I took a year off to work for Blockbuster too, so there was part of that in there. I was working part time. But yeah, this is home for me.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Blockbuster too.
There you go. Exactly right.
So you came here from being head coach at Washington University, which in Seattle. You had 3 players drafted to the WNBA where you're at Washington. Most notably Kelsey Plum, #1 overall pick.
Pretty good. She's pretty good.
Just a little bit.
She's pretty good. Got a gold medal. Going for another one. Yeah, she's not bad.
Your college accomplishments are through the roof because of the University of Washington where you went.
Yeah, I had a lot of good years there.
Washington was a great fit for me, and Coach really believed in me.
And you've had 3 players drafted, but you've been here.
We have. Yeah, we're keeping it going.
6 players total in 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a good run. That's it's good players make good coaches.
Yeah, it helps with recruiting. And
no doubt. No doubt. Fun to keep up with them.
What was Washington like?
Don't have a bad word to say about it. I miss it a lot. A lot of the things I do miss about it, but it's not home. It's not Arkansas for sure.
Yeah. Was that your first head coaching job?
It was.
And so then you built your resume and came back to your hometown.
That was the plan. Yeah, this was my dream job. Ever since I knew I wanted to get into coaching, I wanted to be the coach at Arkansas. So when that opportunity came up, even though we had a really good team coming back, we had a couple of kids that would end up going on and getting drafted, but this was the opportunity of a lifetime. My daughter was getting ready to be a senior in college here, and lots of things were going on, and my family's all from here. So coming home, coming back to this campus was the dream, and glad that opportunity again. Right place, right time.
Yeah, I know you picked this job over. You must have wanted it because you had to get bought out of your other contract. So I'm like, yeah, you wanted to be here for sure.
Yeah, and then I had to pay a lot of my own money back too. I paid a full year's salary back so I could come. I mean, that's how bad I wanted to be home and how much I love. I've said I want them to name part of the building after me someday. I think I'm up to the supply closet. Right now, the supply closet looking pretty good to maybe have my name on it after 7 years, but I'm hopefully gonna upgrade from there. Nothing against supply closets or anything, but.
Rockin' man burning out his fuse up here alone.
What was the Razorback program like when you came in?
The first meeting I had 5 players in it. That everybody was either graduating, transferring, or didn't show up for the meeting. So there's only 5 players in there. We were in rebuild mode. They had a few years there. That's why jobs usually are open. You know, there's very rarely do you find a job opening
They just won a national championship. Like, we need a new coach.
That doesn't happen very often. So it was in a tough spot. It was in a downtime, but felt like I had a good plan to be able to come back and get it back to where it'd be something that my family could be proud of, that came back and was a part of getting back to where, you know, we expect to win, and that's the goal. Is you want high expectations, and I think we've got it there.
Yeah. I mean, you've a lot of tournament appearances in the past few years. So.
Yeah, trying to keep that string alive. We've been to postseason 5 straight, and looking to make it 6 this year. And you know,
we have the depth for it.
Now it's a 10-point game.
Keats with a baseline 3. Dowda, who's in the corner, open for a 3.
Hoffenbarger, couple of feet behind the 3-point line.
It takes a while to get that depth, and we were able to bring in here now a bunch of kids we can count on, a bunch of versatility, interchangeable parts, and that's how you develop depth.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round. I get to find.
So I'd like to take a moment to mention this episode's sponsor, Blakeman's Jewelry. I'm wearing one of their watches right now.
It's nice. I like the red. I'll show you mine when we get to the house.
Oh, you shop at Blakeman?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My wife gets lots of presents. Ben knows me very well.
If you're in the market for watches or jewelry, check them out. No, you're able to afford those type of things. I got to ask you, what are the perks of being a head coach?
There's not many. There's not really. The biggest one is kind of being in charge of your time. You can set your hours, and obviously I'm a family guy, and as a head coach, you can kind of dictate how that goes with not only your family, but the rest of my staff's families. I want them to be a part of it, but that's the biggest perk.
You're kind of your own boss, to a degree.
I mean, I've got an up chain. There's people I report to for sure, but like they're not gonna ask me what time our practices are gonna be. They're gonna trust me enough to decide when those need to be and what time the plane is leaving for road trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
do you guys have access to a private jet?
We use this. We have some charter planes that we go on, but one of those things that the SEC affords our kids, so we don't have to miss class and we can be back in Fayetteville fast.
What would you say the hardest part is being head coach?
Making decisions that affect so many people. I know every decision I make, it's not just affecting me, it affects my team, my staff, my support staff, their families. I think I counted one day, just to kind of put it in perspective, like if I make a major decision, I think it affects 93 people directly. Yeah. Like either their day or their family, and so I don't take any decision lightly.
That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, you get recognized a lot. Like my son asked me one time, he said, "Dad, are you famous?" I said, "Absolutely not. I'm just recognizable." Because in Arkansas, we don't have pro sports. Y'all
have the pro sports.
Yeah, we are it. Like when I was in Seattle, I lived in complete anonymity. Nobody knew me. I could do anything I wanted to do. But no, you can go out in Fayetteville, the Razorback fans, 99.9999999% of them are friendly, and every now and then you'll run somebody that wants to coach your team and has a better idea, but they're fun to interact with too.
I used to just completely stay off Twitter. Do you stay off Twitter?
I don't. I read it. I don't care. I laugh at it. I stay on it. I like it. I'm not telling you it doesn't make me mad sometimes. It may get me frustrated, but I mean, I'm not going to be one to ignore it. It's out there. I'm not. Somebody gave me a really good piece of advice one time and says, take serious people's criticism seriously. Take unserious people's criticism unseriously. So I get a kick out of it.
Sam Pittman's been addressing it.
I kind of feel like I've made it now that they want me fired, because they wanted Van Horn fired. They wanted Coach Muss fired after, they did this, that, and the other. It's almost like a badge of honor. So people are paying attention. I say this to people, listen, again, I coached in Seattle. We went to the Final Four. We did all that, and nobody really talked about it. At least people here talk and they care, and they may say some things that are not factual, skewed, just their opinions. I'm fine with all that. I signed up for it. I just hate it when it goes to our kids, and I hate when we have to explain it to a recruit or something like that. But they're paying attention. Now I learned some stuff. I learned some stuff now. And I'm like, I didn't know I did that. So it's part of it. But yeah, I get on there. I don't try to ignore it too much.
And so I know you have a NASA theme going this year.
Yeah.
Touchdown brings me round, I get to find.
I mean, that's a line.
I'm a rocket man.
What's your relationship with Musselman?
Good. Yeah, we knew each other before, ironically. We used to exchange some emails. I had a newsletter, and he used to share some things with me, and I'd put on my newsletter. He was at Nevada when I was at Washington. They played right after we did, and he came out and watched Plum. She was in the middle of scoring like 43, and he's kind of known for his pregame speeches. He said he went in and talked to his team about that. And, we share the same building. We live together. That's what I say to people. We live in the same building. Our teams have to have an understanding and a relationship. We pull for each other, mutual respect for each other. We do things completely different. You're not going to see me taking my shirt off. Nobody wants to see that. I don't work out enough. If you come to practice and you just walk across just the activity and the sound level and the number of people that are involved in a practice, and
there are 2 gyms, so you guys can be practicing at the same time.
Exactly.
Polar up.
Yeah, but we have a great relationship.
What's something that would surprise a fan about the head coaching position? Or maybe that surprised you when you started?
Most people think that as the head coach, you're in charge of everything. And you're responsible for everything. Yeah. But you're not in charge of it.
You delegate.
Yeah, you have to do it right. But I think to the casual observer, they don't understand how many moving parts there are. They don't understand how many, the people I said that if I change a practice, how many people it touches. And I didn't quite grasp that either. People think that I'm doing basketball all the time. Basketball's about this much. And it's part that I missed as an assistant coach. When I was an assistant coach, basketball was 95% of it. And those were the things I loved. Now I've got those delegated, and I have to do a lot of other things. And I love doing them, but being an assistant coach is a completely different job. And that
what are some of those other things? Media, recruiting?
Yeah, and donors functions and raising money for NIL. And I serve on the WBCA. I serve to represent the entire sport. I'm on 2 committees. I'm also the chair of the All-American Committee, so I'm keeping up with every team in America. So there's just these other duties as assigned. I want to go support all our other teams.
Yeah, I saw you at the volleyball game.
I go to all of them. I try to see every sport. I coached the swim team one morning.
How did you know how to coach a swim team?
I was the high school swim coach at Bentonville. State champion coach. Well, we won the girls swimming championship 3 years in a row, and the boys 2 out of the 3. And
you're probably one of the only D1 coaches who.
I think so. So those are a lot of those responsibilities that they were kind of hidden. I didn't know I was going to have to do till I got to be a head coach. And
they say, here you go.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, especially young assistants, it's a completely different job. There is no playbook for it. Just because you've been a successful assistant coach doesn't mean you're even going to like being a head coach. Yeah. So there's just a lot of factors that over the 10 years of being a head coach, I love. It changes a little bit every day.
Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Coach. I think we got to learn a lot about you, the head coaching position. You got us excited for the season.
Well, thanks for the opportunity, man. It's been a blast.
Yes, sir. And we'll close it with another song.
Let's go.